Can you feel that, baby? I hope you can. I hope you can feel that. Because we're back, baby. We're back. It's not just a top 25 appearance. It's not just a top 20 appearance. No, 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 no. It's a top 10 appearance. Penn State is back and better than ever. We're back. And you know what? We're coming for all of you. We're coming for all of the Big Ten. I don't care if you're Michigan. I don't care if you're Minnesota, who just lost to Purdue. Yeah, that same Purdue that we beat in week 1 with last-minute heroics. I don't care if you're Ohio State with C.J. Stroud. I don't care. We're coming for you. We're coming for you with all things, all items, and all attacks. So you better be ready, Big Ten.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of It's Always Sunny in South Philadelphia. I'm your host, Riley Rich. Let's go! Shut it down. You win. 1-0, that's another fly ball to center field. Garcia going back to the track. Leaping, it's gone! That one has enough distance to get at. We got no! You are listening to the It's Always Sunny in South Philadelphia podcast, covering the Philadelphia Phillies, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Penn State Nittany Lions football team. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the host of IASSP, Riley Rich.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of It's Always Sunny in South Philadelphia. I am your host, Riley Rich, and today, if you clearly can't tell by that threatening intro that I totally mean, it is a Penn State video as we have begun conference play this past week with a game at home against Northwestern that we are going to cover today. But before we get into that, we're going to start with housekeeping, as we always do. Before we begin this episode, make sure to follow and subscribe to wherever you listen, whether that be YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio. You know the deal, or else I'm going to beat you over the head. You know where we are. If you can listen to this, there should be a follow or subscribe button right next to you. So just hit it. If you enjoy this content, just hit it. Because you know you'll want to come back. And of course, if you want merch like this, you go to bonfire.com/store/IASSP-merch. Again, you guys know that there is a third set of merch that's out right now. I'm going to show it on the screen very quickly. We've already talked about it for like a week and a half. This is the baseball merch. Hitting is a science, pitching is an art, with a logo right at the bottom. This is ending on October 12th. If you place your order by then, you'll probably get it by October 21st or somewhere around there, right before Halloween. So you better go get that merch. Again, that's bonfire.com/store/IASSP-merch. And with all of that being said, let's begin with conference play. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Big Ten football is here. And if there's any indication from this past week's game, it is basically like every other year. Low scoring, lots of running. It's Army-Navy, but a little bit more sinister and a little bit more creative. Final score of this one from Beaver Stadium: Penn State 17, Northwestern 7. I was watching the highlights and watching the game live. There were so many fumbles, I couldn't even keep track. I tried to keep track with as many of them as I could, but I don't even know if I got all of them. But ton of fumbles, slippery day at State College, and Penn State came out on top. I mean, against a team that they should have. I mean, Northwestern's been losing, like, to what, like Illinois? I think they lost to Illinois, and like literally everyone else. And only player we really cared about is Evan Hull, who had a huge game and against Duke, and then we just completely silenced him to like 50 yards, and then their quarterback is a South Carolina transfer. Like, well, what do we care? Ryan Helinski did not put up that much of a fight against us, I'll tell you that much. But let's dive into the stats. We'll start with our boy behind the center. Finally, the first game yet this year in which it was only Clifford the Big Red Dog taking the QB snaps. And he was, you know what? He could have been better, but he's still pretty much a dog. 10 for 20 with 140 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. again, that pick was really early on in the game. It didn't really matter because Northwestern couldn't even do anything with it, even if they tried. So it's not like it mattered. He had 3 carries with 13 yards on the ground. Rushing stats in this one, I love these stats. I love these so much because both Singleton and Katron Allen had 21 carries. If that doesn't, not only did they have 21 carries, Singleton had 87 yards, Allen had 86. They literally split down the middle, and Singleton had a touchdown. To add on to those 42 rushes between Nick Singleton and Katron Allen, Kevon Lee had 40 yards on 10 carries. That's right. So if we count Singleton, if we count Allen, if we count Kevon Lee, and if we count the 3 scrambles by Sean Clifford, that's right, baby. As I clearly didn't do this before, 55. No, I can't. 45. No, 55. I was right the first time. 55 rushes on the ground. That is insane. That is insane Big Ten football in a way that you've never seen it before. And if that isn't enough, if 55 rushes isn't enough for one team, isn't enough to tell you that it's Big Ten football, well, let me dive in a little bit further. Our top receiver, yeah, sure, he might have had 73 yards, but he had 4 catches. 4. That was our top receiver. Our most receptions. Everyone else had 2. Parker Washington, 4 catches on 73 yards. Mitchell Tinsley, 2 catches on 16. Everyone else, 1 catch. That's it. Brendan Strange with a 20-yard touchdown. Harrison Wallace with 12-yard reception. Nick Singleton with an 11-yard catch. And Theo Johnson with an 8-yard catch. And that's it. That is a slippery day at State College. And I'm probably going to say it so many times that it's probably going to be my title. So you better expect slippery day at State College to be the title of this episode. But literally, it's been ground and pound, right? That's the rushing style. That's literally all it was. Thank God we have an amazing O-line to help us out. That this rushing attack could have worked the way that it did. And thank God for highly recruited Nick Singleton and Katron Allen. They definitely carried us. Yeah, that's for sure. Moving over to the defense. Okay, maybe Singleton and Allen carried us offensively. The defense was the star of this game, and that's not even close, and I didn't even think I really need to say that. Tarberton, huge game. Nick Tarberton, I think. Sack for him. A TFL, and 2 fumble recoveries. That's one day for Nick Tarberton. That's amazing. He's the only one that had a sack for us, which isn't great. But, I mean, when you force like 3 or 4 fumbles, I mean, we're really grasping at straws here when you put that into perspective. Jair Brown, Abdul Carter, and Tarberton had a tackle for loss. And then P.J. Mustapher, Adiza Isaac, Damian Robinson, and Akeem Beeman with half of a TFL. So everyone, that defensive line, pitching in all ways, shapes, and forms. Then we get into tackles. The leading tackler of this game is with 8 total tackles. P.J. Mustapher is your leader in tackles. That's right, the senior, redshirt senior, with 8 total tackles. Jair Brown led their team in solo tackles with 5, came in second in total with 6. Keen Ellis and Robinson had 4. Zakie Wheatley, Jonathan Sutherland, and Jalen Reed had 3 total tackles. And the 2 Kings, Kalen and Kobe, Marquise Wilson, Abdul Carter, and Beeman had 2 total tackles. In terms of solos, Mustapher and you already know that Brown is 5. Mustapher and Keen Ellis with 4. Wheatley with 3. Robinson, Sutherland, the 2 Kings, and Wilson with 2 solo tackles. Again, I'm not going to count anyone with 1 tackle. I think that, that's like pretty hard to accomplish, and that's most of the team, most not all of the team. I don't want to shout out the entire team, although no, I'm not shouting out the entire team. This is a highlight session, not a participation award session. Oh, I'm sorry, Joey Porter, you've been having a great year. I know that, but you've had better games. I'm sorry. It's true. Pass deflections again. Joey Porter, here you go, Joey Porter. Here's your pass deflection. You're in coverage still. That's awesome. We need that. Tyler Elsdon, Daquan Hardy, Johnny Dixon, Keaton Ellis, and Kalen King with deflections, and Hakeem Beamon with 2 deflections on the game. Everybody getting a hand in terms of the pass category in Helinski's face and batting those balls down. Again, like we said, Tarverton along with Curtis Jacobs. Tarverton with 2 fumble recoveries, Jacobs with 1, and Jair Brown with an interception. A pretty nice return on that pick, too. And then Jake Pinniger went 1 for 1 with his field goals, 2 for 2 with extra points, and Barney Moore had 5 punts, 200 yards punting. It's the first time we've seen that, and hopefully the last. Unless, we have, 3 punts for, 200 yards, and Barney Moore just happens to be a god. But like we said, this moves us up 1 spot from number 11 to number 10. Not really that many crazy things happening in the rest of the college football world, especially not ahead of us. We don't have an Oklahoma to lose out in the top 10 because they already slipped, and they got 55 points scored on them by TCU. Ouch, imagine. But like we said, Minnesota lost to Purdue. That's awesome. That's a little bit more confidence going into the whiteout game. And then for us, that moved everything. I guess our play moved us up from number 11 to number 10. We have a bye week next week, so yeah, no Penn State football next week. I'm sorry. It's going to be, should be 2 episodes because I'm not going to jinx it. I'm not going to jinx the baseball thing right now. But we have a bye next week for Penn State, and then we come back better than ever at Michigan, at home versus Minnesota for the whiteout, and at home against Ohio State. October football. Can you feel the Penn State magic of October football and huge Big Ten wins and possibly a Big Ten championship? I hope so. But for more on this game specifically, we're going to go now to some game film. And we are back with some game film courtesy of Big Ten. Thank you, Big Ten, for these highlights. You still make these episodes possible. So we have here a 3rd and 11. We're going to start with a Northwestern drive. Isn't that interesting? We're going to start with a turnover. A 3rd and 11. 3 at the top of the screen, 2 at the bottom. Helinski is going to take a snap. I like that little motion to the inside. This is just severely overthrown. One can only assume that number 1 here over the middle was his target, and he just completely overthrew him right into the hands of Jair Brown. I have no commentary. That was just a duck, a mallard. That was a completely terrible throw. Not a bad return either. We have a 2nd and 5 here. I'm gonna rewind to see if I can get a better shot. Okay. 3 at the top of the screen if you include Strange. Strange is still in that off the line blocking position. But you have Tinsley, you have Washington at the top with Strange. You have Harrison Wallace on the bottom. 2nd and 5 from the 20. You have a fake pitch by Clifford. Takes a little bit. Has to finish his Hollywood acting degree. Has the man over the middle. I'm assuming that guy, I don't know why I keep rewinding 5 seconds. But this guy, 44 right here, is just waiting back for Lee. Or maybe it's 34. I was waiting back. This guy right here. He's waiting back for Lee. He's looking at the pitch. He's thinking that Clifford's just going to shovel it to the outside. He'll go from there. No. Stranger's going to cut up the field. He's not back enough. 32 is gone. He's not getting him. And then 2 is just going to decide, this corner here is just going to decide to go low. Terrible idea as Strange goes right over him. And that was 1 of 2 touchdowns in this game for Penn State. This is just a bad snap. Well, it's not even just a bad snap. It's just low. Helinski just couldn't get his hands on it. It's picked up, recovered by Tarverton. Penn State's getting loud. 4th Actually, we're going to move ahead a little bit here. Although I can show this. 4th and 1, Kevon Lee dances around. He's got a lane. He gets to the outside. He picks up that first down. Then you have a 1st and goal here. Okay, we have Wallace at the bottom. We can clearly see that. I don't know if there's someone below Wallace, but I don't think so. You got your offensive lineman. It's a 2 tight end side. Here's Warren over here to the left side, and there's Strange right next to him to the left. It's a 1st and goal. Clearly a run with the 2 tight ends in. The handoff to Singleton. He has this lane right in between the left end and D tackle. I want to see how he stays on his feet. Because this is something that I picked on during the game. He somehow is just going to stay on his feet through this. So there's the contact. He's going to fight through, let's see, 1, 2, I don't know if I'm going to count that guy. 1, 2, 3, 4. And he's just going to fight his way up. I lost him. He's going to just fight his way over the middle, dive forward. Nice touchdown there for Nick Singleton. And there's your 2nd touchdown. So congratulations. There's all of your offense for this game, essentially. Here's another play from Clifford. That's a nice handoff. I don't know what they were trying to do. This is a fumble for Northwestern. But this was some sort of counter or some sort of misdirection. That terrible idea. As soon as you start running to one side, commit. Just commit. You're not going to get him at this point. Especially with all the corners and safeties crashing down. They know what's going on. That's a fumble. That's pretty easily a fumble. You're not getting that one back. Blah, 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 whatever. I can talk all day. I know, it's my job, but terrible play call. But it's okay because Northwestern's terrible. 2nd and 12. While receiver at the top, 2 receiver at the bottom. It's a play action. And there is pressure again from Tarberton. He's going to force the fumble, and it's picked up by Jacobs. It's a strip sack. Holinsky had nowhere to go. Manny Diaz. This is a face of pure joy that you'll only find on a man that just left the hellhole that is known as the University of Miami. Look at the excitement on the face of Manny Diaz as he's running down the sideline. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's a good thing he left Miami. He could have done so much better. See, this is why Penn State's good, because Manny Diaz went with Franklin. They're both part of a statistical regime right now. They're entitled in a statistical regime, and it's working for Penn State. It's getting them undefeated, and it's going to bring them to the top of the Big Ten. See, this is what the Phillies need to do. But we'll talk about that later once we get to a Phillies episode, which should be later on in the week. Did I want to talk about anything here? I don't think so. It's just a plain old run here with Kevon Lee. Then again, another fumble. Again, you got to love the rain, right? Gotta love the rain. I didn't want to talk about this too. I did want to talk about this Northwestern touchdown. So 2nd down and 10. You got 3 receivers on the top of the screen, 2 at the bottom, 5 wide. Here's Holinsky. He's back to pass. He goes deep to the left side. I do not know who was supposed to be there. I'm going to go in 0.25 playback speed for this one. That is way too close. Way too close. Sorry. We're going to go into 0.25 playback speed for this. I can't. Again, it's really hard just to see the bottom of the screen. Here's the snap. There's a little look to the screen. This 26 is just going to cut inside. And I'm assuming it's zone. And then just 8 is just going to follow him. That's going to leave this whole left side of the field wide open for Northwestern. Holinsky picking apart zone coverage. Here's my least favorite part about this. Makes the catch, right? Carter here, Abdul Carter, is the first one back, which is interesting on its own, considering that he's a linebacker. But he is in a perfect pursuit angle. He's at a perfect pursuit angle. It's the closest distance between 2 points is a straight line. Go right after the man. No, he's just going to do this really weird stutter step for no reason at all. Again, I really don't. I get that he's like cutting up the field and he has to like take a second to like wait, but look at this. Stops right in his he's breaking his own ankles. All the receivers just gonna do is gonna catch the ball and he's gonna run. Abdul Carter's just gonna break his own ankles. He literally crawls to the ground. He literally crawls to the ground because he actually broke his own ankles. That's not even like the receiver didn't even do anything. He just broke his own ankles. And then the last play I wanted to show from these highlights, play action. I guess I could say it's something special. One receiver at the top, two at the bottom. It's a play action, 2nd down and 8. You're going to see this play open. You're going to watch number 3, Parker Washington, get away from the linebacker, 57. Clifford has just enough time. Actually, not just enough. He has a ton of time. Flooded down the field. The little corner, or the corner out for Parker Washington. Creates separation right at the step. He actually Clifford kind of overthrew him a little bit. Right in stride. Perfect catch. Parker Washington. And that is going to do it for this episode, this Penn State episode. I hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to follow and subscribe to wherever you're listening. We'll end this off with a nice look at James Franklin. Make sure to follow and subscribe to wherever you listen, which if you can see me, hello. And those should be showing up for you right now. And remember, even if the bye week comes back to haunt Penn State and we come out flatter than a map against Michigan, even if the top 10 ranking was only a mirage, even if Penn State completely falls off a cliff here in October, keep your heads high because it's always sunny in South Philadelphia. I will see you guys tomorrow for an Eagles episode.